So you may have gone on your online banking app and they would have sent you a message saying that their system have upgraded to ISO 2022 here in Jamaica. So the banks in Jamaica under the BOJ, the Bank of Jamaica, have upgraded their banking system from the Swift MT system to the ISO 20022 system, right? So a lot of you don't even pay this no mind or try to understand what it is. But this is not just only in Jamaica. This is a system that every single bank across the nations of the world will have to go under the ISO 20022 compliant system. There are even cryptocurrencies that is under the ISO 22 system, and I'm going to share why this is important. Now with the ISO 2022, it says in this article, banks need ISO 20022 for richer data. For richer meaning say the data is stronger, better data, right? So within every transaction they gather better data from these transactions, improve efficiency, stronger compliance, AML/fraud, that's in bracket, better customer service, and global interoperability via common XML standard. And I'm going to share with you what is the XML standard in a minute. Replacing all the system like Swift MT system, I just told you about that, to enable automation and innovation, right? So the ISO 2022 can enable automation, meaning that the system can run automatically, and it opened the doors for innovation. In other words, as we are seeing a change within the what is money is being redefined, and we are going into a more digitalization of money, so there will be no paper money in time to come. And this system has the ability to facilitate the digitalization of finances, right? And that will also make the system work even more efficiently than it is today. What that means is that they have a better control over the system. They are gathering better data from transaction from people, so the system is more transparent to them. And this is how the system of the beast will come in, that says that if we don't have the mark of the beast, we'll not be able to buy or sell. So this is lining up with biblical messages or revelation that have been given. So as we are seeing this system becoming globalized, the banks across the world, they have to, and there is a deadline for every bank to be ISO 2022 by next year, 2026. So it has already started, and it is right here in Jamaica. And I want to say to my fellow brothers and sisters in Jamaica, open your eyes. I tell you to be wise. I tell you to be vigilant. See beyond what you see. Hear beyond what you hear. And the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ is near. And we are pressing into some serious end time events. Be blessed. Be safe. So XML is basically, let me tell you what XML is. I said I'm going to say it. So I want to share what XML is, just to read it. XML stands for Extensible Makeup Language. So there's this kind of language that the bank uses. It's a makeup language and a file format for encoding data in a structured, human reliable and machine reliable way. So it's reliable both human and machine, right? So they're not leaving out machine, using custom tags to define elements, unlike HTML, predefined in tags, right? Primarily purpose to store, transmit, and reconstruct data, making it crucial tool for data exchange and configuration between different system and application, because it's platform independent and self-descriptive. My God. So it is independent and self-descriptive. Don't need nobody. So I want to say to everyone out there that we are in crucial time. This is happening in Jamaica. I never said the US, I said in Jamaica. So some crazy things is happening. Be blessed, be safe. Let's go.
Yeah, me people, big up to One Premium Boss. See it ya, One Premium Boss bring me in a place called Green Park in Achilani. And we have to stop at one part and walk up. And when me say literally, we walk the hill there with the bag them. Just figure link the people that make them know say, alright, watch out man, we have some care packages for giveaway. Me have to big up One Premium Boss right through, because the places them when bring me in Achilani. Tower Hill is another place. Is where me I say up Bounty Hall side. And me I tell you say the people they were so grateful. You know them happy for everything. Is where me I deal with the people them respectful and all of that. And me I tell you say, let me tell you this man. If you can't reach them place, they want to reach them place there too. Is where me I say Green Park and up at Tower Hill. And then we go to another place previous day down in a St. Elizabeth, my people, and it was a great look as well to see how respectful and orderly the people were when we had to do the care package them. But yeah man, for yesterday man, big up One Premium Boss right through man. Me I tell you them you out there do it for true. In a real life them out there do it. Them reach the people them. Anyway them there, them reach them. Round the Trelawney side and them side there. No joke. One Premium Boss do it. Believe.
Hey guys, let's wrap up the whole Drizzle and Chad situation and throw it to the side. That is all news. We're not deal with that right now. All the bands have launched their costume for Jamaica Carnival 2026. Exodus been dropped them for months ago. Gen X dropped for them on last week Sunday or Monday. The 15th will be the last day for you guys to pay your $200. After that, it's going to be $250 for your pre-registration. You understand me? And I just got off Yard Mass live. You know, I'm a true Gen X girly, but I am jumping the fence this year because I found or I've seen two costumes that I am totally in love with on the Yard Mass live. You understand me? If you're not a blue girly, you have to be a green girly, and I'm definitely a green girly because the green yam down. And also remember that if you are jumping with Carnival, most of the money will be donated to persons who were affected in the hurricane season. So if you can buy a costume, you know, and go jump up and shake up, do that.
Every year, the Office of the Prime Minister keeps a treat for senior citizens and for children. This year, we took the decision that we will move to the areas of Jamaica that have been impacted. So I'm just coming from Middle Quarters, where I conducted a kiddies treat. It was raining a little bit, but the kids said they're not going anywhere. They're going on the slides and everything. So they are there having fun. And of course, we have decided to do a mini kiddies street here and to do the senior street here as well. The rest of Jamaica that is happy and looking to celebrate the season must not ignore their brothers and sisters who are not able to celebrate the season. And so the government must lead by example, and so we are doing that. There are those people, and I'm saying it here, who are vested in telling you lies to mislead you. For what reason? I don't know. Maybe they want the country to descend in chaos. They don't like to see law and order. I'm saying to you, be careful of the information that you consume. Information is like food. If you consume bad food, It will make your body unhealthy. If you consume bad information, it will make your mind unhealthy. Why would somebody come on social media, make a post and say something that the government never said? And some people believe it. I urge all of you to think before you consume the lies that people are telling you. It will only lead you to make bad decisions. We heard some terms used from this podium, one of which would be the continuity of government or the continuity of business. For small island developing states, these weather events pose a real threat to the continuity of government and the continuity of business. One event could knock out the capability of government to respond, to stand up, get relief and assistance to those in need. It could knock out, if not totally destroy, the ability of businesses to recover and start again. One weather event could end a business totally. And we have seen this in Melissa. Many local governments were totally knocked down. They could not stand up and respond. And indeed, as a result of Melissa, many businesses will end. They will not be able to restart. So for the average person seeing the hurricane and say, oh, it's wind and rain and it took off my roof, that's just a part of it. The impact of these high intensity, high risk events is that it could end life as we know it. And I don't mean to sound as if I'm trying to create fear or being dramatic. This is the new reality. Thankfully, your administration has been preaching this for a very long time. If you go back at all my presentations, I have been speaking about resilience and building resilience and ensuring that we have continuity of government. Brigadier, you were there when we raised those issues, when we asked the Disaster Risk Management Council to prepare a continuity of business plan. The most important thing that we have done is to build resilience in the country's financing. And how did we do this? One, we controlled our borrowing. Reducing the debt to GDP ratio ensured that when we really needed to borrow, we could get access to funding. But more than that, we could get access to funding at the best rates because we established ourselves as good managers of resources and lower risk. The second thing we did is that we had a scheme of preparing for disasters. And essentially, it's a straightforward scheme. There are two kinds of disasters that will happen. You have high frequency, low intensity events. You can expect that every year we're going to have a rainy season. Every year there is going to be flooding. We may be impacted up to the level of a tropical storm. We prepare for that. Every year we know we're going to have droughts, and so we have to provide for that. And how do we provide for that? Well, for the first time in decades, we established and funded the National Disaster Fund. So every year we set aside for that. So in effect, you can say we put aside savings for that. If your economy isn't doing well, you can't save for disasters. So we set aside savings out of our revenues. The second thing we did is that we set aside a contingency. And we have that contingency, which is where we have been spending from in the initial response to the hurricane, almost about $5 billion, meaning we set aside from cash flow. Savings and cash flow, we target that to low intensity, high frequency events. But then there are some events that are high intensity, low frequency. And for that, we use insurance, like the CRIF, the Caribbean Reinsurance Fund that is there. And for really high intensity, low frequency events, we have the catastrophe bond. So you see how we have structured our financing. We have, in our words, we have crafted our economy to incorporate the risk of climate damage. Nobody gives credit to the government for that. But it has served us through all the tropical storms, through all the floods, through all the droughts. We didn't have to borrow a cent. And it served us well during COVID. And during COVID, we went through our contingencies and we went through our disaster fund, but we ended up having to borrow. But we were able to get the kind of borrowing that was not stressful on our economy. And so a part of the strategy of dealing with these disasters is to also have contingency borrowing, meaning that should a disaster occur, we get access rapidly to pre-arranged debt. You can't get access to that unless you have established that you are a good, well-managed economy. And so we have put in all of these measures to ensure that if we were hit by the worst event, and by the way, Hurricane Melissa is one of the 3 strongest hurricanes to have impacted anywhere in the world. I believe the strongest would have been in the Pacific. Hurricane Melissa would be the 2nd strongest in the Atlantic. So it's in the top 3. So, there's a lot of discussion about the government's response and all the other issues that you hear. The fundamental is that Jamaica was struck by one of the strongest hurricane, causing some of the worst ever damage in Jamaica's history. And we are certain as to where the recovery and reconstruction will come from and how it will be funded. That is a massive achievement for a small island developing state. Jamaica was considered the case study of debt reduction. Now we are going to be considered the case study of reconstruction and resilience building after a disaster.
Well, I'm in Mandeville for the first time in my life. I'm in Mandeville, guys. Yo, this is busy. This is like 8 o'clock at night. Mandeville, active. Yo, this is like a real city. It's the first time I recall coming here. I mean, this whole place is like buzzing. I'm gonna say buzzing, buzzing.
I think I have to go down there to get the
So we are in Black River, and 5 weeks after the storm, I'm very pleased to see that the spirit of the people is not broken. The people are very positive. Clearly, lots of damage, lots of things to recover, but the people are positive in their outlook, and it is clear that the state is present in every form, and civil society and NGOs are also here supporting the residents. When I landed in Black River the day after the hurricane, making my way through fallen debris and light poles and knee-deep water, in the distance I saw Senior Superintendent Minto making his way to me. Clearly, he was the only sign of public authority, the only sign of any form of public order or government in the area. Himself and his team, they stayed throughout the storm, and after the storm they were there. The police station received damage. They had no electricity, they had no telecommunications, but they managed to maintain a very high level of public order, and it is a credit to Senior Superintendent Minto and his team. So tell us now, Superintendent, how are things in Black River?
Well, thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, and welcome to St. Elizabeth again, sir. I have with me Deputy Superintendent Owen Brown, who manages the operations portfolio and was also with me for days before and after the passage of Hurricane Melissa, also Constable Grant. Sir, I start with the state of crime. Firstly, we're seeing a reduction in the major categories of crime. Shootings are down 29%, robbery is down 57%, murder, which we pay attention to, is down 47%. We have 16 murders when compared to 30 last year, with the latest murder, sir, taking place just about a week ago in a very quiet community. And I want to make it known that the Pedro Plain Treasure Beach area is one of those areas that is known for peace. We usually have very low crime in those areas.
Very shocking when I heard it, Billy's
that
Bay.
incident, sir, Billy's Bay, very unfortunate. The information we have is that 2 armed men who entered the dwelling of these 2 persons, foreign nationals, and demanded money. When their demands were not met, they shot and injured the male, who was taken to the hospital and was pronounced dead later on. Beyond that, I'm happy to report, sir, electricity has been restored in that area, and so we continue to maintain a presence. But we want persons to know the Treasure Beach area is a quiet. We are welcoming visitors to that area even as we speak.
But before you go, I mean, I think it's a point that we should not just pass over. Anyone who is involved in that murder will be found. I'm certain that you have already identified persons who may be involved. You have suspects on your radar. You will be caught and you will face the full force of the law. I guarantee it.
I'll just update you, Mr. Prime Minister, that we do have a suspect in custody.
Good.
We have done 2 case reviews in about 3 days, just reviewing this matter. There's an identification parade that is pending for Monday of next week, and we'll update the nation based on the outcome.
Everyone who is involved in that must be brought to justice.
But we appeal to the community, those who may have heard or seen anything, to share that information with us. But we're on to it, sir, and we are intending to ensure that those responsible are held.
By now, right? All the people who are contemplating committing murders, those who are involved in contract killings, those who are in the lottery scamming, those are involved in gangs, by now you should know that you're not going to get away. We're going to find you, and you're going to face the full force of the law.
Thank you, sir. We continue, sir, with our operational thrust across the parish, and I want to just make it known the people in St. Elizabeth are resilient persons. I was just sharing just whilst we were doing the interview, a lady who, the morning after hurricane, when all our service vehicles were immobilized because of the flooding, and we wanted to get to an area where there was a report of a body. It was somebody on a bike, a citizen who assisted the police. And that is the kind of cooperation that we enjoy with the residents of St. Elizabeth. We have been here with them. We opened the station as a shelter during the hurricane. The first hour during the hurricane, persons started to come over. And our first priority was to ensure that our officers, the citizens who came to the station, in addition to we had prisoners in custody, we had to ensure that all of those persons remained safe and alive, and we did that. We continue the cleanup activities right after, and all our major corridors are now cleared. We still at this time have about 120 persons in shelters, about 23 active shelters now remaining open in St. Elizabeth. Our high schools have resumed classes, primary schools are still closed, and we continue to support a number of stakeholders, private persons, NGOs, persons from the region, international partners who are coming in. The Black River Field Hospital that is in the parish, they treat an average between 80 to 100 persons daily. And so it's really doing a lot in terms of intervention for those who need that kind of care and health support during this time. I make another comment, sir, because a number of the citizens have been locked away in the darkness, and queries are coming to me regarding permits. And I want to make it clear to Jamaica and to St. Elizabeth and the promoters that we are supporting entertainment activities. We want you to apply, we go through the process, and a number of the promoters have indicated that they have alternate energy solutions. And so once the security considerations are met, we have no difficulty in approving the permits and granting you to have these events. A lot of the children, treats, we want them. In fact, the JCF, we have had 2 treats in the last week in the parish put on by the JCF. And so we're encouraging others who want to come in, who want to have these events, day or even at night. Once you can supply alternate energy, we will approve those events, providing all the requirements of the law.
Just to support what you're saying, the policy of the government is to support and promote the activities that will help people to cope with the challenges that they currently have. Entertainment and recreation are activities that can help. Of course, all done in moderation and done with regard to the limitations that exist. So yes, we support the return of entertainment and recreation, but remember, there are limitations
Yes, sir.
in terms of the ability to police, electricity, public transportation, safety on the roads, these kinds of considerations. So we ask promoters to put on their events bearing these things in mind and to ensure the safety of their patrons. We know that sometimes entertainment events and entertainment locations are oftentimes areas where murders take place. And so if you're putting on these events, make the necessary provisions. Ensure you have security, put up cameras, proper lighting to ensure that the patrons are safe. We are heading to having a murder rate that will be below 700. That's the first time in many decades, and we want to ensure that you don't see a spike during this period of time. In fact, every Jamaican should be committed to ensuring that there are no murders during the Christmas season, as we not just celebrate festivities, but remember that this is the season of the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Very good.
Have a good one.